Do you think resilience is something that we can learn, or is it something that we're either born with or not born with?
I've learned a lot in my life, so I like to think that everyone can learn, but it depends what situation or state they're in. For example, two people can only communicate if they're both in okay space. And as soon as someone goes into distress, they attack, blame, or shut down, become passive aggressive, and cannot communicate, and that other person will quickly follow. And I use a tool from NASA that looks at how people behave under pressure. And what we're seeing is that everyone is in distress. Everyone is under an extreme amount of pressure. And so people aren't in okay space. So how do you teach someone who isn't in okay space how to help themselves come out of distress and back into okay space? And that's a really interesting set of questions. I think, though, that since this is a global phenomenon, I can't even say that word, phenomenon, that people across the world are supporting each other and finding ways. I was told to avoid the productivity porn. So things coming up on your on LinkedIn and Facebook, and you should be doing 20 push-ups. And this is the, I hear the phrase, this is the more than ever. If I hear that phrase more than ever, you need to ... It's too much and people can't take it in. So it's about getting it really simple and saying, okay, what do you need? As we look at the brain, the most important part of the brain where every single decision goes through is the primal brain. And that's asking, am I safe? So number one is making sure that people feel safe. Then secondly, we start to meet their other psychological needs.
Does that resonate with you, Ian? I was just thinking, I mean, you and I wouldn't know anything about, those sort of negative reactions, but yeah,
look, I think obviously everything Arabella said makes absolute sense. I think having been in my own business now for 37 years, and I've bought and sold and been less and more successful in different businesses, I think what you find is that stage of life has a real impact on resilience. I think as you get older, your ability to bounce back becomes more challenging. I don't say it necessarily from my own personal experience, but watching, in the current environment, talking to directors who have been in business for 20, 30 years and now not being able to really be in control of their own destiny. And that challenge, they've been through it before. They were around often for the last recession, the Y2K crisis, the Asian financial crisis, the GFC. And I think this is for some people, it's just one step too far. And they're really struggling with the fact that they can't control what's happening at the moment. It's totally out of their control. And they don't know what is going to happen in the next day, week, month, 6 months, 12 months. And that's, I think, really challenging people's resilience.